and put his hands behind his head to control his breathing. Something was wrong with the story. He just didn't know what. Had Michael lied to him about something? And if so, why? What had he tried to protect? And why had he run into the Church of the Wanderer during his execution? The single-feathered raven walked through the door to the archmage room, plate armor clanking until she stopped on the other side of the table from Simon. "Recorder," she said, holding her metal helmet against her side. "I have a few questions I hope you might have answers for." "About?" the King of Stories asked, perking up. "Commander Angelo Shade." He deflated. "Oh, I have some information on him, but wouldn't you rather know more about the King Killer?" "No." Simon wanted to crumple up the papers around him and throw them at the walls. What was the point of getting access to the King of Imbeciles' story if no one wanted to hear it? Right now, it was about as useful as the Theban Empire's Champion of Wars poetry collection. "Why do you care about the commander of the Watchers so much?" "I think he's manipulated history." "I oversee the archives," Simon said with a chuckle. "Do you really think some muscle-brained—" "Do you know of the Mercenary Company that used a broken crown as their symbol?" "A broken crown? What does a—" Simon trailed off, gears clicking into place at words that held no previous meaning. Pressure welled in his throat. His nails scratched the table, and he glared at the raven as if she had slapped him. "How did you figure it out?" "I overheard something in the Church of the Wanderer I wasn't meant to." "Maybe it was a blessing Michael lived after all." The King of Stories motioned for the raven to join him. "Shall we discover the truth together?" Chapter 1. Bound by Fate. It was our birthday, and for the first time in a decade the Princess of Hollow invited me to celebrate it with her. My mother told me not to go, that it would be a trap, that the princess would use any and every opportunity to get revenge, since I was the primary suspect in her father's death. But my siblings Leon and Gwen both knew what I would do before I admitted it. From the very beginning of our lives, we had been together. The Princess of Hollow and I had been born on the same day. She was early, while I was late. It had occurred on the last snowfall of the year when spring was in sight, coating the entire city in a heavy white blanket that had kept the midwives from reaching our mothers, forcing our fathers to birth us instead. Fate had decided to replicate that day, as I trudged through the snow toward my destination, wishing it wasn't so far away. The merchants tried to maintain the roads in the city, but in the upper quarter it was the royals' responsibility to clear the snow, and ever since King Isaac's death, the castle had gone silent. It might as well have been a mausoleum, because no gossip, rumors, or whispers had come out of it since I had escaped my execution. No doubt the princess was determining whom she could trust and whom she had to dispose of. According to stories I had heard in my youth, most considered our dual birth to be an omen of good things to come. There was only one other time in Hollow history that a Kingman and Hollow bonded pair had ever entered the world together, and it had been Montaigne the Remembered and Uri the Unneeded. They had created a golden age in Hollow together, and without meaning to, we had been born with the pressure on our shoulders to do the same, even if we weren't the heirs. And maybe that was why we became obsessed with our legacies and ancestors. Because of this supposed destiny, our parents had never been surprised how close we became, even for a bonded pair. There were times that we could communicate without speaking, glances and smiles substituting instead. We were perfect together, inadvertently covering each other's flaws and highlighting our strengths. The princess was intelligent and artistic, but quiet and nervous in large crowds, while I was confident and talkative, drawing in people with what she had affectionately dubbed my poisonous tongue. She had also been the only person able to see through my lies, no matter how big or small. She always knew